everyone, so I just want to do this video on volume lashes as like an introduction to volume lashes. So I remember when I first started out trying to experiment with volume lashes, I went in with a 0.05 and I had no idea what I was doing. And I didn't know the difference between this one, a 0.07, a 0.03, and I just treated them all the same way. And that's not the case. So you will waste your time and your lashes if you're not up to scratch with what is what. So I just want to go through that now really quickly. So when you're first starting out doing volume lashes, you want to start with a 0.07. These are the thickest of the volume lashes. And we recommend that you don't do any more to a fan than 5 to 6D because it will be too heavy, anything more than that. These are the ones that are going to be the easiest for you to start fanning out and picking up, as obviously they're a little bit thicker. And you can create really nice volume sets with these. If you wanted to do something a little bit more fluffier, or if your client has got very weak lashes or short lashes and you wanted to add more length but you couldn't add too much weight, then you could drop this down to a 0.05 or a 0.06. Not many places sell a 0.06 but a 0.05, and you fan them out in exactly the same way as you would a 0.07. But the weight of these is a lot less than a 0.07. So you can add more to a fan, but we recommend that you're not putting anything too heavy again. So because the hairs are so fine on these, it's really difficult to sit every time and count how many you've got to a fan. So a rule of thumb for me would to be creating the same bases, the same size bases that you would for a 0.07. And I will put a photo demonstration in after this to demonstrate that the bases are all the same, but the coverage is more. Now, if you're going down to a 0.03, you need to have mastered definitely this one and this one to be able to fan out a 0.03. Now, we see a lot of people using the pinch method to do these ones. If that's your choice of fanning technique, then that's your choice. Personally, I don't use that method, but they are a lot more difficult to fan out because the hairs are so fine. And again, don't be fooled by a lot of what you see on Instagram. For example, these massive, great, big, thick, heavy bases. I have done a video on this before. You really just want to be creating the same bases all the way through. And you'll just see that the coverage is, again, more with a 0.03 because these are considered mega volume. These are volume, and this is mega volume. A 0.04, again, which would be between these two, is a mega volume. So if, for example, you've been using a 0.03 and you've only been putting, say, 5 or 6 to a fan, when your client opens their eye, it's just going to get lost because those hairs are so fine. You need more to make up those fans. So I'm just going to demonstrate now how I create the same base, the same size bases on all of these sizes, but the coverage is more. And just to recap, start with your 0.07s when you're starting out in volume, especially if you're teaching yourself. Then go to your 0.05s. And if it's something that you want to do, if your clients request it, if it's something you can practice and get right, then head towards your mega volume fans. There are obviously separate courses you can go on for these. So we've got a 0.07, a 0.05 and a 0.03. And what I'm doing is looking at the bases. So realistically, while you're lashing and you're picking up your speed, you've got a few clients a day and you're creating 200 fans per client, you will never, ever count how many you've got to a fan. Go by your bases and what your bases should look like. So forget all these volumetric calculations. You will never use that. That's not a realistic thing within lashing. Look at your bases and make a realistic decision as to what that isolated eyelash can take. If you feel like it can take 4 0.07s, then get used to what the base of a 4D 0.07 looks like. So then when you do go to pick up a 0.05, you can understand that that base is going to be the same. and it's going to be a healthy, safe weight for that client's natural lashes. So I hope that's been helpful. Try not to believe everything that you see on social media. There is still do's and don'ts within this industry that get ignored quite a lot. The main priority for you as a lash technician, especially as you're up and coming, is the health of your clients' natural lashes. That is your main priority. So creating these humongous, great big fans, you're only going to damage them and eventually make them lose them permanently. So I hope that's helpful.